Give him this money and these notes, Ronaldo.
Yeah, for sure, my lord.
You shall do marvelous, good Ronaldo. Before you visit him, make inquiry of his behavior.
You right. I mean, that was my plan, my lord.
Mary, well said. Very well said. Look you, sir, inquire me first what danskers are in Paris, and how and who, what means and where they keep, what company, at what expense, and finding by this encompassment and drift of question, that they do know my son. Come you more nearer than your particular demands will touch it. Take you as twere some distant knowledge of him. As thus, I know his father and his friends, and impart him. Do you mark this, Ronaldo?
Oh, my lord, that's dope.
And impart him, but you may say, not well, but if to be he I mean, he's very wild. He's very addicted, so and so. And there put on him what forgeries you please. Marry none so rank as may dishonor him. Take heed of that. But, sir, such wanton, wild, and usual slips are as our companions noted and most known to youth and liberty.
My dude, you talking about gambling?
Aye, drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, jabbling. You may go so far.
Won't lie, fam, that's gonna bring some dishonor on him.
Faith? No, as you may season it in the charge. You must not put another scandal on him, that he is open to incontinency. That's not my meaning, but breathe his faults so quaintly that they may seem the taints of liberty. The flash and outbreak of a fiery mind, a savageness in unreclaimed blood of general assault.
Like, yo,
Why should you do this?
like, fam, man don't understand why.
Mary, sir, here's my drift, and I believe it is a fetch of warring. You laying these slight sullies on my son, as twere a thing, a little solid in the work. Mark you, your party in converse, him, you would sound having ever seen in the prenominate crimes, the youth you breathe of guilty, be assured, he closes with you in this consequence. Good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman, according to the phrase or the addition of man and country.
Oh, say less, my lord.
And then, sir, does he this? He does. What was I about to say? By the mass, I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
Wait a minute. Was it he'll mark his agreement by saying sir, or friend, or gentleman? Man, this is cheesing me.
I closes in the consequence. Aye, Mary. He closes with you thus. I know the gentleman, I saw him yesterday, or the other day, or then, with such or such. And as you say, there was a gaming, there overtook in his roots. There's falling out at tennis, or perchance I saw him enter such a house of sale, videlic, a brothel, or so forth. See you now. Your bait of falsehood takes this carp of truth, and thus do we of wisdom and of reach, with windlasses and with assays of bias. By indirections, find directions out. So, by my former lecture and advice, shall you, my son? You have me, have you not?
Of course, bros. You already know it.
God be with ye. Fare ye well.
Peace, cousin.
Observe his inclination in yourself,
Fam, you don't gotta tell me twice.
and let him play his music.
Yo, I got you, fam.
Farewell. How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
My lord, someone has broken into my room.
With what? In the name of God.
Hamlet, my lord. He had broken into my room while I was studying.
Mad for thy love?
I do not know why, my lord. It is troubling me.
What said he?
Not a word, my lord. He grabbed me by my wrist, took a step back, and put his other hand on my forehead like this. Then he stared at my face, like he wanted to draw a picture. He was like that for a while, before he shook my arm and nodded his head up and down 3 times. Then left while still looking at me. It was like he had eyes at the back of his head. I did not know what to do, my lord.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven, that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What have you given him? Any words of hate?
I have not, my lord. I haven't replied to any of his messages and refused to speak to him in every situation. Do you think he has gone mad because of this, my lord?
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that, with better heed and judgment, I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to rack thee. But beshrew my jealousy. By heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions, as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Not only have I wanted to see you, but I also urgently need your help, which is why I sent for you. You may have heard about Hamlet's recent transformation, if that's the right word, since he's changed both inside and out. Other than his father's death, I can't imagine what made him so unlike himself. Since you both grew up with him and are so familiar with him, I ask you both to stay here at court for a while. Spend time with Hamlet. Get him to enjoy life again. And try to find out if there's anything we don't know about that's bothering him. So we can try to fix it.
Gentlemen, my son has talked a lot about you. I don't think there are anyone else alive who he's really close to. If you would help us, please accept our invitation so you may stay with us for a while. If you do, we'll reward you in such a way as only a CEO can.
Don't worry, yo, I got you, yo. But take this in, yo. You guys are like in like our different tax brackets still, so it's not like we got a choice, yo. Grody, man, crazy stuff, yo.
We got you, yo. We'll do what we can still, yo. We do this for you, eh? So, just so you know, we got you anytime.
I appreciate you both.
Guildenstern, and who could forget, Rosencrantz. Thanks a lot. But my son's been acting strange lately, so please, can you immediately visit my son? Go, servants, and bring these gentlemen to Hamlet.
Yo, hopefully heaven can help this youth still. We've been bugging, Crow.
Oh, yes. Hallelujah.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
You once more have brought good news.
Have I, my lord? Assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure, as it hath used to, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, for real? Let's hear it then.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Go get them yourself and bring them in. We're gonna have to investigate till we find out. Welcome, my Voltiman. Voltiman, what's the news from the King of Norway?
Yo, wow, go on, broski. Big dog from the way wishes both of you well in it. Soon as we spoke to brother, he gave orders for little bro to stop us something and then love guns and that. Man, like the king thought we was in prep for Poland, whole time it was against you lot, bro. My man was sad still, never seen him that deep, bro. Like, raw. The king told young Fords to end all that still. And long story short, yeah, man like Ford said, say no more, uncle, he's gonna purge the ops. Then man like King got amped, bro. Gave Ford 60 bands to fund his mission and said, hold that, bro. And then my man gave this letter still. Broski's asking to just breeze through, innit?
That's what I'm talking about, Voltman. That's what I love to hear. When I have the chance, I'll read it, think about it, and reply. Meanwhile, thank you for your work. Go get some rest. Tonight we feast. And welcome home.
This business is well ended, my liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, what day is day, night is night, and time is time. We're nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness, the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, I call it. To define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
Stop trying to beat around the bush and state your case.
Madam, I swear I am not mad at all. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and pity, 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will get to the point. Mad, let us grant him then, and now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect, defective comes by the cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautiful Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear. Thus, in her excellent white bosom.
You're telling me this note is from Hamlet to Ophelia?
Good madam, stay a while. I'll be faithful. Doubt thou, the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love. O dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. O most best, believe it. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet and more above, hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to mine ear.
How did she respond to his love, though?
What do you think of me?
A loyal and honorable person.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think, when I had seen this hot love on the wing as I perceived it? I must tell you that, before my daughter told me, what might you, or my dear majesty, your queen here, think, if I had played the desk or table book, or given my heart a winking, mute, and dumb, or looked upon this love with idle sight? What may you think? No? I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star. This must not be. And then I prescripts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which she had done. She took the fruits of my advice, and he, repelled, a short tale to make. He fell into sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this declination into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Gertrude, do you think this is the reason Hamlet's been acting like this?
I mean, at this point, it may be. It very well may be.
Had there been such a time, I would fain know that I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise.
Not that I know of.
Take this from this. If this be otherwise, if circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How can we test this though?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
Oh, yes, he does indeed. I saw him once on the walk. He sure was acting strange too.
At such a time, I'll lose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind and erased then. Mark the encounter, if he love her not, and he not from his reason fallen thereon. Let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carders.
We'll try it.
Away, I do beseech you both. Away. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Quite well, sire.
Do you know me, my lord?
Why, of course I do. You must be the low-class local dealer of fish.
Not I, my lord.
Well then, if you claim not to be, you must be as honest as one.
Honest, my lord?
Yes, indeed. Being honest is a trait not many people have today.
That's very true, my lord.
Mister, I'm not a fish dealer. Do you happen to have a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Better not let that fish get pregnant.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love, very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
The World Records of Fish. And hey, I think your daughter's in here.
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Well, it says that old fish can only be as old as the newborn fish if, like a crab, they could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there is a method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are, a happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
Well, you know, my life can be taken sometime in the future, but you cannot take anything else away from me.
Fare you well, my lord. You go to seek Lord Hamlet? There he is.
Yo, don't know still, yo.
Yo, Crow!
Yo, what's good, yo?
My pals, how are both of you?
Chilling, yo, regular stuff, you know how I get, yo.
Yeah, we chilling, yo. But we ain't relaxing. Just chilling on Fortune's cap, you feel me?
Not in her shoes.
No, not that, still.
You must live in high class.
You already know we live between our legs, Crow.
Ah, upper class citizens, I see. What brings you to this prison?
Prison?
Denmark's a prison.
Yo, if Denmark is jail, yo, then this planet is a jail for real, yo. It's deep stuff, yo.
A fine one, where lower class citizens roam, but Denmark is the worst.
I don't know about that, still.
Well, maybe not to you, but to me it is. Only thinking about if something is good or bad makes it good or bad.
But that's like your ambition, yo. Denmark is like too small for your brain, yo.
Oh God, I could be surrounded by kings and rulers and still consider myself above them all. To me, Denmark's a prison.
Ambition is a dream, but the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
But wouldn't you want to be some sort of ruler one day? We could settle this in court if you want.
We'll wait on
We'll
you
wait on
still.
you, still.
Oh goodness, don't act like the rest of these bums. Treat yourself like royalty. You are the acquaintances of a prince after all. What are my lads up to today?
Just here to see you, bro. That's it. Still.
Oh, to have such great friends like you two. I thank you from the depths of my wealth. I mean heart. Tell me though, were you not sent here by anyone? You took the time out of your worthless day, precious day to visit me? The prince? Tell me the truth.
Yo, what should we say, Carl?
You two seem to give off some sort of guilty aura. How do I describe it? It's filled with lies! That damned king sent you, didn't he?
Yo, what do we say? Yo, this is stressing me out, yo.
If you two really are my good friends, tell me the truth. Now.
Yo, I don't even know what to tell you still.
And I have just a reason as to why. You both have vulnerability to higher class. Even higher than me, your best friend. The king is the one on your guilty thumb.
Yo, yo, it's not even like that, yo. You're reaching, yo. That's a reach, yo. You're reaching, yo. But yo, take this in, yo. The actors that you rate, they're about to reach just now, yo.
Ah, which ones?
I just said, yo, the ones you rate bare, yo, from the city, yo.
Why are they coming here? Weren't they better off in the city?
Oh, I'm not sure, yo. I think something came up, yo. Still,
Are they still seen as high-class jokers?
they're not still, yo. Stress.
Why? Do they perform for rags now?
I mean, yo, those guys put in bare work still, but the people don't want that no more, yo. They want youngins acting, yo. I think they think it's more cute still. But yo, they don't rate the traditional stuff, man. Not the style no more, yo. Stressful stuff, yo.
How's it that peasants have taken this spot? This must be an outrage.
Yeah, bro, it's bare parties on both sides still, yo. But bare mans don't think it's bad for these guys to beef, yo. But yo, take this in, right? There was parties for a minute, yo. But man's had no bread to really make a fair point, yo. Feel me?
Is it possible?
Yo, I'm telling you, yo, bare things were going on, Carl.
We'll have the boys won?
They won the war still. It was crazy stuff, yo.
As expected, for my uncle is king of Denmark, and those who would make mows at him while he lived now give 20, 40, 50, 100 ducats apiece just for a small portrait of him. Well, something fishy is going on here. Guildenstern, listen closely and listen well. That cheap doll is not even as smart as one.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. I became the Prince of Denmark.
The actors are to come hither, my lord.
Oh, I would have never known.
Upon my honor,
Well, they must have not arrived in a carriage in that case.
the best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral, scene indivisible, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light. For the law of right and the liberty, these are the only men.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure he had.
Treasure he had, my lord.
Why, a daughter which he loved tremendously.
Ah, still on my daughter.
Am I not right, old Jephthah?
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well.
That's not the plot.
What follows then, my lord?
Why, as by lot, God wot. And then, you know, it came to pass, as most likely it was.
Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see that you're well. We'll have a speech from you, mate. Come, give us a taste of your acting quality and perform a perfect, passionate speech.
Yo, what speech you talking about, fam?
I remember you spoke a speech before, but you never really acted it out. Although it did not please all who heard it, it was an excellent play. All who had judgment better than mine thought that the play was magnificent. One story in particular caught my attention. The epic poem about the Trojan War. You know, the one with the giant wooden horse? If you remember it, please start where Pyrrhus seeks out old grandfather Priam.
For God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls. Repugnant to command, unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives. Enraged strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. To Slensus, Ilium, seeming to feel his blow, with flaming top, stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash, takes prisoners Pyrrhus' ear, for lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seemed I the air to stick. So, as the painted tyrant, Prius stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. But as we often see, against some storm, a silence in the heavens, the rock stands still, the bold wind speechless, and the orb below, as hushes death, anon the dreadful thunder, doth rend the region, so after Pyrrhus paused. Aroused vengeance sets him a new work, and never did Cyclops' hammers fall. On Mars' armor, forged for proof etern, with less remorse than Pyrrhus, bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out, thou strumped. Fortune, all you gods, in general synod, take away her power. Break all the spokes and furies from her wheel, and bow the road knave down the hill of heaven, as low as to fiends.
This is too long.
Oi, shut up! Your beard is too long.
But who, oh who, had seen the mobile queen?
The mobile queen?
That's good. Mobile queen is good.
Run barefoot, up and down, threatening the flames, with Bisan Grium, a cloud upon the head, where late the diadem stood, and for a robe. About her lank and all her team's lions, who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, gains fortune state, would treason have pronounced, but if the gods themselves did see her then, why she saw Prius make malicious sport, in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look, whether he has not turned his color, and has tears in his eyes, pray thee no more.
That's enough. You'll speak for me another time. Oi, P, make sure the players are well housed and treated.
My lord, I will use them according to their desert. Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Old friend, can you play The Murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
Well, watch it tomorrow night. It would be splendid if you could remember a few lines that I've written.
Yeah, fam.
Very well. Follow that lord, and don't make fun of him. That's my occupation. My good friends, I'll leave you both until nightfall. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye, so God be with you. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul to his own conceit, that from her working all his visage waned, tears in his eyes, distractions in aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing? For Hecuba, what's Hecuba to him? Or he to Hecuba? that he should weep for her. What would he do had he the motive and cure for passion that I have? Would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, peak like Jonadrins, am pregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks my beard off, and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, and gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs? Who does me this? Swoons, I should take it, for it cannot be. But I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make my oppression bitter, or ere this, I should have fatted all the region's kites with the slaves afar. Bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I! This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whole, unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab, a scullion, fie upon it, foe! About my brain! I've heard that guilty creatures, sitting at a play, have by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions for murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine own uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses to damn me, I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.